Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the Canadian Electrical Code, specifically Rule 28106. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Code rules can be a bit dry, but trust me, this one is super important for anyone working with motors. It's all about motor branch circuit conductors, and understanding it is key to ensuring a safe and compliant installation. So, what exactly does Rule 28106 say? In simple terms, it tells us the minimum size of wire we need to use for a motor's branch circuit. The general rule is that the conductors supplying a single motor must have an ampacity of at least 125% of the motor's full load current rating. Why 125%? Well, motors have something called an inrush current when they start up. This initial surge is much higher than the normal running current, and that extra 25% capacity ensures the wires can handle that initial kick without overheating or causing a hazard. Let's break it down with a quick example. Imagine you have a motor with a full load current of 20 amps. According to the rule, you'd multiply 20 amps by 1.25, which gives you 25 amps. This means you need to select a conductor, a wire, that is rated to safely carry at least 25 amps. You'd then look at the ampacity tables in the CEC, like Table 2 for copper conductors, to find the right wire gauge that corresponds to that ampacity, making sure to consider the insulation temperature rating. For a 25 amp requirement, a number 12 AWG copper wire, rated for 75 degrees Celsius, would typically be your go-to choice. But wait, there's more. The code is never quite that simple, is it? Rule 28106 has a few sub-rules for different situations. For instance, if you're dealing with a motor used for continuous duty service, you stick with the 125% rule. However, for intermittent duty motors, like those on cranes or hoists that start and stop frequently, the rules can change. You might be able to use a smaller conductor, but you have to consult specific tables and calculations outlined in the code based on the motor's duty cycle. There are also special provisions for multi-speed motors and wound rotor motors. For multi-speed motors, you calculate the conductor size based on the highest full load current rating among all the different speeds, and then apply that 125% factor. It's all about preparing for the worst-case scenario to ensure the circuit is always protected. Understanding Rule 28106 is fundamental for any electrician. It's not just about passing an inspection. It's about preventing fires, protecting equipment, and ensuring the safety of everyone who uses the building. Always double-check your motor's nameplate for its full load current. Consider its duty type, and then do the math. Getting this right is a hallmark of a true professional. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope this breakdown helps you tackle your next motor installation with confidence. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the Canadian Electrical Code. Drop any questions you have in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.